Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for a deep dive into something kind of different?
Absolutely. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. So we're talking squiggly careers, that whole idea that a career path doesn't have to be this straight line anymore.
Right. It's not your grandparents' career path, that's for sure.
Exactly. And to help us unpack this, we're digging into a couple of really cool books. First up, we've got Chapter 6 from The Squiggly Career by Helen Tupper and Ellis. Now, these are the folks who actually coined the term squiggly career.
They did, and their book is fantastic. We're also going to tap into some insights from Range by David Epstein.
Oh, yes. Love that book. Range is all about, the power of being a generalist. Right?
It is, and it actually ties in perfectly with the whole concept of a squiggly career, which we'll get into.
Perfect. So, for anyone who hasn't read these books yet, no worries. We'll cover the need-to-know stuff right here. But basically, Tupper and Ellis, they start off by saying that, in the past, careers were pretty much linear. You found your lane and you stuck with it, climbed that ladder. But today...
Yeah, things are way different.
Way different. I mean, even thinking back to when we were starting out...
Oh, tell me about it.
The whole landscape has shifted. So Tupper and Ellis, they're saying careers are less about climbing that ladder and more about, squiggling. Twists, turns, maybe even complete U-turns, all fair game.
And it makes sense, right? The job market's changing so rapidly. We've got automation, new industries popping up left and right.
Yeah.
Being able to adapt and pivot is more valuable than ever.
Totally. And that's where the squiggle comes in. Tupper and Ellis talk about how this approach actually makes you more adaptable. You're constantly learning new things, facing new challenges. You almost become comfortable with uncertainty.
And that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, uncertainty is kind of the name of the game these days.
Truth. But okay, let's bring in David Epstein here for a sec. How does range connect to all of this?
Well, Epstein's research shows that generalist people with a wide range of skills and interests tend to be more adaptable and resilient. They're able to connect the dots more easily, see patterns where others might not.
Ooh, that's so interesting. So in a way, having a squiggly career almost forces you to become more of a generalist.
In a way, yes. Because you're exposed to so many different things, you're constantly picking up new skills, new perspectives. It's like you're building your own personal toolkit. And the more diverse your tools, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes your way.
It's like that saying, the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, but in a good way,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as you're navigating this squiggly path, you might start to discover hidden talents or passions you never even knew you had.
I love that. So it's not just about being adaptable, it's also about, self-discovery.
Absolutely. It's about being open to new possibilities, new versions of yourself even. And speaking of trying on different hats, Tupper and Ellis have this great concept in their book called flirtation.
Flirtation, tell me more. It sounds way more fun than just networking.
It is kind of like career dating in a way. It's about testing the waters before diving in head first. So let's say you're curious about a certain field or role. You can flirt with it by taking a course, volunteering, or even just having coffee with someone who works in that area.
Oh, I like that. So you're not making any big commitments, you're just exploring and seeing what feels right.
Right. And that's where Epstein's idea of trying on different selves comes in.
Oh yeah, I remember that from the book. It was like he was encouraging people to not be afraid to experiment and figure out what fits.
Exactly. It's about giving yourself permission to explore different interests and passions without feeling like you're locked into any one path.
So how do we know, though, when a flirtation or a self is the one? When do we know it's time to, take things to the next level?
Well, Tupper and Ellis, they suggest paying close attention to what energizes you. What are those things that make you excited to get out of bed in the morning?
What are the things that make Monday feel a little bit less Monday?
Exactly. What are you naturally drawn to? What do you find yourself doing in your free time, even?
It's almost like your intuition is a compass, right? Guiding you towards what feels right.
It really is. And as you get a feel for your direction, don't underestimate the power of your network.
Ooh, yeah. Networking is huge, especially when you're navigating a less traditional career path.
Tupper and Ellis actually emphasize this a lot. Building relationships is crucial in a squiggly career. And, Epstein would completely agree.
Because generalists often have those wider networks. Makes them better connectors and collaborators.
Yes, exactly. They thrive in environments where they can connect with people from all sorts of backgrounds and disciplines.
So in a way, having a squiggly career could even make you a better networker.
It definitely could. And those connections can open doors to opportunities you might never have found otherwise.
So it's like a positive feedback loop.
Right. The more you embrace the squiggle, the more equipped you become to handle whatever comes your way.
I love it. Okay, so to wrap things up, if our listeners take away just one thing from this deep dive into squiggly careers, it should be.
It's not about chaos. A squiggly career is not about just randomly jumping from one thing to the next. It's about strategic exploration.
Yes, it's about being intentional about your growth, about building a diverse skill set, and most importantly, being adaptable and open to new possibilities.
And, thinking about possibilities, it kind of makes you wonder, if your career could squiggle in any direction, what would you be most curious to explore? What's that one thing that maybe you've always been a little bit curious about but haven't actually pursued?
Yeah, what's stopping you from at least, dipping your toes in? That's something for everyone to think about.
It is. And who knows, that little exploration could lead to your next big adventure.
I love it. Great stuff. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me.
My pleasure. Always fun to chat about this stuff.
Until next time.